without any further delay, let's get started with our main topic that we have planned today. That is full stack ASP.NET Core web developers. So here I'm going to teach you the learning path, and this is especially for newbies, those who are totally new to the programming, or you can say those who are non-graduates or graduates and who do not have any idea about any programming language. Even C, they are not at all aware of C programming language and want to start their career in web development and want to become full stack ASP.NET Core web developer. So this webinar is for those who want to become full stack ASP.NET Core with Angular web developer with zero prior programming knowledge. With zero prior programming knowledge. So this is especially for those. So those who already have some experience, it might be some kind of thing that you might be knowing about all the things. But anyway, here I'm going to give you the complete path. Now, what is the agenda? By the end of this session or by the end of this webinar, the first thing that you will know is how much does a full stack web developer earn. If you want to choose any technology, if you want to learn something, the first question that comes to your mind is that how much can I earn? So I'm going to answer this. But anyway, I always say that learn the technology for the sake of technology, not for the sake of job. And the next question that I'm going to answer is, what do you mean by full stack web developer? Actually, what does this term means? It is so much, you can say, buzzword of the market these days. Full stack web developer, full stack developer. So in other words, it means that if I become a full stack web developer, what can I do? What can I do? If I become a full stack web developer, how much can I earn? And what can I do? And finally, how to become a full stack web developer, which means how to do this. So by the end of this session, I hope I will be able to answer these three major questions. And of course, by the end of the session, I'll be here to take your questions too. Now, the first thing first, how much can I earn? This is what we are all finally looking for. How much can I earn? Is it not? So it all depends on three parameters. Your earnings depends on three parameters. First is the organization in which you are working. First is the organization in which you are working. And the second thing is years of experience that you have. First thing is the organization. Second thing is the years of experience that you have. And the third parameter is the location of job. That means the country in which you are working. So what I have done, I have just did little research work, and I found that there is a source on the internet with the name Glassdoor, which says how much you can earn in a particular field. So if you are in India and say you have turned into a full stack web developer, so this is the average salary that you can earn. See, this is the Glassdoor. You can just Google for Glassdoor and you'll get all the information about various job positions in various countries and how much people are earning at that position. So average you can earn 4 lakhs per month. See, it depends. So you can see as low as 2 lakhs and as much as high as 10 lakhs. So this is on an average. And as I told you, it depends on your experience. So this is what you can earn in India on an average after completion of your full stack web developer course, or once you become a full stack web developer. In Gulf countries, say Saudi, Dubai, or Qatar, if you can name some Gulf countries, there you can earn 6,500 per month on an average. So this is not rupees, this is in reals or whatever that country's currency. So it is per month. So starts at 4,000 per month and reaches till 15,000 per month. You can see junior web developer. So 5,000 per month. So this is especially for those students who are in Gulf country, and if you complete this full stack web developer and if you want to move ahead to the next position or to the next company, to the next organization, and this is what you can expect your future package. And when it comes to US or UK, foreign countries, then this is what you can earn. And it's true, people are earning. I have a lot of my students who are earning this $72,000 per year. It is on average. As low as $50,000 to $1,05,000. And you can see this junior web developer is earning $61,000 per year. So I hope you might have got an idea, but it all depends on 3 parameters, as I told you. Maybe when you start the job, you should have to start with a very low salary. Don't think about that. Might be a very small organization. Don't think about that. You just start, and within a year or 2, your salary gets multiplied. But always remember that before time and more than destiny, we never get anything. So don't worry much about your earnings. But this does not mean that you should stop learning or hunting for jobs on the other side. Now, moving towards our next question, what can I do? Are you all happy with these salaries? Just put it in comment box. Anyway, I'm also happy to see all these numbers, but you have to work hard. It is not like you can get these numbers.
Where's the comment box, please?
You can look for the message box. Now, moving ahead for our next point, that is, what can I do? In short, you can develop any product. If you become a full stack web developer, means what? You can develop any product. Here I'm going to show you a sample product. The name of the product is Short Story. It is a web application, or you can say web portal, which has a small workflow to understand the complete technologies. Normally, here we have two roles. There is a normal user and another is an admin. Normal user wants to share some story with the world. So they log in, or their experience or some story. So they log in and they go for posting a story. So a normal user will log in and post a story. Now that story will get reflected on admin's dashboard. This is admin's dashboard under approved story. Now it is the job of admin whether to approve that story or to reject it. Now once admin approves the story, it will be available in stories tab. That is this tab. Now the world can read that story. And we have implemented a lot of things in this. Like, see, this is the admin dashboard, and here it shows total pending and approved stories, pie chart, bar chart, graphical. I'll just show you the flow. Here we have, I'll click on short story. Now log out. Now here you see you have home, register, and login. This is sidebar or side navigation bar. You can hide it or you can show this. And this is completely, you can say, responsive design. You can see if you just try to watch it on mobile, it adjusts and you can read the things. So we have a responsive design. We have used Bootstrap 4 for that. And this UI we have designed with Angular 9. If you understand the terminologies, no worries. But once I show the path and once you learn the things, you'll understand everything. Now, a new user can register, and we have form client-side validations and server-side validations, and can also upload an image. The special part is that in single form, we have both the things. We are passing data as well as image. You can also log in, and we have also implemented login with Google, so social login. Now I can log in with Google. So we implemented social logins with JWT, JSON Web Token. So those who are experienced, they'll understand all these terminologies. But those who are not experienced, newbies, don't worry about that. See, I have logged in as a normal user, and till now I have, posted a lot of stories. You can see that I have post stories tab. So these are all my approved stories. These are all my pending stories. And here you have stories tab. Here it will show all the approved stories by all the users. Now if I want to post a story, now this is a normal user. Normal user does not have rights to approve a story. This is a normal user. Now I have a story with me, the golden touch. You can read the story later on. And this is the story that I have. and I'm posting it, and here I'll say create story. Now you see that story posted successfully. We got the message notification and it got disappeared after a few seconds. So this is what we normally have in our real-time projects. And you can see it is pending story. And in the user dashboard, you can see that I have 16 pending stories and I have 45 approved stories. So my stories which got approved, 45. If I see in the stories, it is not available because it is still pending. Now I'll log out. Log in as an admin. Here you have admin username and admin password. So we got an admin. Now in admin dashboard, you can see there are 23 pending stories and 104 approved stories. 23 pending and 104 approved stories. Now if for admin, we have additional option that is approved story. You can see that golden touch is available in approved stories. It has to be approved. It has not approved yet. Now in the stories, it is not available because it will be available in stories tab once it gets approved. So this is the workflow we have. Now admin is approving the story. Now you see we have another message that is pop-up. We have tried to implement almost all kinds of pop-up messages, notifications. Story got approved and you can see in stories it is available. In post story you see validation. We have different type of validation in the UI. Whereas in registration form we have different types. That means we have done all permutation and combination and we try to implement almost all the scenarios. And of course we never forget about reports. I want to download all these stories as an Excel or CSV file. So you have that option, download as CSV. Now you can open and read it in Excel. I'll say log out. So this type of project you can develop. In other words, you can develop any kind of project, any kind of web application. I hope you got an idea. Now let us try to understand what are the technologies that we have used and project architecture. Business object layer. We have business objects in this. Story is one business object. User is one business object. So all these business objects we developed using C# programming language. And we created our data access layer to access the data. Now here, the important part about this is code first approach. That means you need not to create database. You just write classes and use entity framework core. Now this entity framework core will use these classes to generate database. So we have generated the database. Now I need to write my business logic. So I'll be using ASP.NET Core 3.1 web APIs to write business logic and expose the data to the world. Now, for example, I'll take one example. You'll understand this. Say salary of an employee is $5 per hour. Salary of an employee is $5 per hour and he has worked for 20 hours. And he has worked for 20 hours. Now, what is my business logic? My business logic is to calculate the salary, I need to say 5 into 20. This is my business logic. Finally, the result I get, that is $100, I'm going to pass it to data access layer, and it is the job of data access layer to store it into the database. Now, if my business logic has some more features, like, okay, apart from this salary, I'm going to pay 10% as HRA. 10% as HRA. So total salary is 100 plus 10% is 110. So I change my business logic, and I'm going to expose this to the world in the form of JSON, so that anybody can consume it to render the data or to collect the data from the user. That means I need a UI, is it not? I need a UI where I should have some text boxes and buttons and drop downs and all those things. I should have a text box, 2 text boxes, and a button. Here I'll write salary per hour is $5, and here I'll write he has worked for 20 hours. Then I'll press submit button. So I need this so that it should display result here. So I need this UI. So this UI I'm going to develop with the help of Angular 9. And in support, I'm going to make use of HTML5, TypeScript, Bootstrap 4. And I'm exposing the data with the help of JSON. To write my business logic or expose the data to the world, I'll be using ASP.NET Core 3.1 Web APIs. For data access layer, I'll be using Entity Framework Core. For database, I'll be using SQL Server. So here, you need to understand few terms. All your UI part, rendering, text boxes, tables, grids, whatever you see on the screen is your UI. And we call it as front end. And whatever the business logic you write and data access logic you write to store the data, to read the data, to perform security checks and all those things, we call it as backend. And finally, we have our database. If a developer is perfect in working with front end, back end, and database, we call that developer as full stack web developer. You can say one-man army. He should go to the client, take the requirement, design the classes, write data access, generate database, write business logic, secure your business logic, design your UI, integrate it, test it, host it on Azure Cloud hosting, and go and tell to the client that your product is ready, you can use it. Whoever can do all these things, they are called as full stack web developers. To do all these things, you need some softwares, right? Those who are new, for them, what are the softwares required? If I want to learn all these things, do I need to buy any software? No need to buy any software. You need SQL Server and Visual Studio. SQL Server Express Edition, which is free, and Visual Studio Community Edition, that is also free. So go to this link, download it. This is SQL Server Express Edition, and this is your Management Studio. See, once we learn, once you go and start learning, you will come to know why do we need these things. So I want to create database, I want to create primary keys, foreign keys, and I want to manage all those things. So we need database. To work with database, we need these two things: SQL Server, Express Edition, and Management Studio. And to write our C# code, design UI, and all those things, we need Visual Studio Community Edition. So these are the softwares which are freely available in the market. You can simply go and get it. Next, full stack web developer. I hope now you should get the complete idea about full stack web developer. A full stack web developer has knowledge of both front end and back end technologies. Front end is the visible part of the application that users interact with, which includes HTML5, Bootstrap, TypeScript, and Angular 9. And the back end includes the server, ASP.NET Core 3.1 Web APIs, Database Entity Framework Core on SQL Server, and application programming language C#.NET that powers the front end. That's fine, that's really good, but how can I do it? How to learn that? Or is it possible to do all those things? Yes, of course it is possible. And hundreds and thousands of my students are doing single-handedly. They are developing the applications after learning all these things. So let's see how to achieve this, how to learn this, and how much time should I spend, and what should I do to learn all these things. Let us see that. And of course, I'm going to take all your questions once I'm done with the session, so no worries. There are two ways to learn these things. First approach is coding bootcamp that I'm running currently, and we have full-time coding bootcamp. You can just give 9 weeks and give 5 hours per day on your daily basis. And we are running our current bootcamp to teach you all these things from scratch, and it may take the end of the August to complete it. So our new full-time coding bootcamp will be starting in the month of September, so 7th September. And the other option is part-time coding bootcamp. This is especially for working professionals, those who want to upgrade. You have to spend 2 hours per day. And luckily, we are going to start that in the next week, that is 6th July. Just we have to spend 2 hours. Evening hours, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. we'll have session in the same way on GoToMeeting. I'll code, you can just see. Then 1 hour we'll have session, and next 1 hour I'm going to give you task on daily basis. I'll give one task on every day, and I'll follow up, and I'll make sure that you do that task. If you get stuck somewhere, I'll be here to help you out. You can interact with me directly. I'll guide you, and we also have a mentor who can guide you in part-time coding bootcamp. But it's a long time. So 18 weeks means it's nearly 4 to 5 months you have to spend, but 2 hours per day, that's it. But if you want to close everything and you want to give full day, then 9 weeks are more than enough. I guarantee you the subject. I never guarantee job. I guarantee the technology. So one approach is going for coding bootcamp. Live interactive sessions with daily task, daily monitoring. We'll have mock-up interviews. We'll have online quiz. We support on resume preparation. We do all those things. We never guarantee jobs. And the other way is video learning. So what we did from our past coding bootcamp batches, We have the recordings of all those things. And one more plus point of Coding Bootcamp is that we also record those sessions, so that if you miss any session, you'll have a backup of that. You can revisit those sessions, and you can revise the topic, and you'll have access to that course lifetime. We create private courses. And other option is video learning. Video learning, we have 100+ hours of video learning. And these are all the recorded videos of previous bootcamp. And the advantage of video learning is self-paced. Whenever you want to log in, you log in, you have access, you watch the video, you give 1 hour per day, so it will take 100 days to complete. You give 2 hours per day, it will take 50 days to complete. You give 4 hours per day, it will take 25 days to complete. It's up to you. Watch it again and again. You have the source code, you can download. Of course, videos you cannot download. If you have any doubts, you can ping us, you can mail us, you can ping on WhatsApp. We'll be here to help you out. So we have 2 ways of learning. One is live interactive sessions of code, that is Coding Bootcamp, and another is video learning. Now, Coding Bootcamp, what are the plus and minus points? I want to just discuss that. The positive points about Coding Bootcamp: scheduled pace. That means you'll have some deadlines. See, today we are starting, and on this day you'll be a full stack web developer. And you have structured learning path. It is live and interactive. You'll have daily tasks, one-on-one monitoring. If you get some doubt and if you do not understand some topic, we'll schedule a meeting and I'll have one-on-one discussion for all these things. And we conduct mock interviews and we guide for the job, and we'll give full Manzoor the Trainer portal access for lifetime. These are the plus points. And minus points also, it is a bit costlier than video learning, but it is not more than your degree cost, CS degree cost. You do CS degree and you know very well how much you have spent the time and the money in your 4 years of degree. Of course, you have degree in your hand, but soon you will see that organizations will prefer skills over degrees. And I have, made a recent post. And the other thing is you have to spend specific and fixed amount of time on daily basis. So it is full-fledged learning. You have to leave everything for 9 weeks and concentrate totally on coding. Then by the end of the 9th week, you will be a full stack web developer. Now, if you want to see, you can just go through this link. That we are starting our part-time coding bootcamp, and the good news is we have rated as #1 coding bootcamp of Hyderabad. You can just go to this course report and you can see the reviews, what our previous students says about our bootcamp, and you can see the recent news that you got from Amon. Is working in Infosys in US. He attended our previous bootcamp, and I'll share this link. You can just read out what he has to say about our bootcamp. Why did he choose Manzoor the Trainer? And what are the advantages of attending these things? And we are going to start it on 6th July, pre-bootcamp, and main bootcamp will start it on 10th. So you can apply for that. We'll have a small discussion, and we take only 15 students in this coding bootcamp. We don't take more than 15 students so that we can concentrate on each and every student personally. And of course, you have fee structure. You can just go for the fee structure of coding bootcamp, and you have options. You can make the payment in 3 installments, and its total cost is $1,500. You can make the payment in 3 installments, $500 per month. Or if you want to go for one-shot payment, then you can make it to $1,200, and you can save $300. So you have both the options for this. So this is for those who want to dedicate themselves for interactive learning. You can go for this. And the video learning pros and cons. Advantages of video learning: it is self-paced. Again, you have structured learning path, and you have lifetime access to the videos, and it is cost effective. When you compare to the cost of bootcamp, the cost of video learning is very, very less. And negative point is no interaction in the sense direct interactions you won't have, and less concentration, and no work atmosphere, and lack of pushback. See, normal what I have observed in video learning, if 100 students enroll into video learning, I see that only 10 students complete it on time, and they learn the complete things from videos, because there is a human nature. They need a pushback, they need some atmosphere, they need a team. But I have seen a lot of students, those who learn from video learning, and they are earning huge amount of money today. So it has all plus and minus points. And video learning, the best news that I want to give you, that it is the first time I'm releasing my previous coding bootcamp, all the videos, which is of more than 100 hours, and its actual cost is $1,200. And for this people who attended this seminar, and especially for those who have enrolled into Manzoor the trainer, I'm giving them a discount of more than 80%. So you can get everything from scratch till end. You need not to buy any other course. You can just buy the single course for $199 and you'll get everything. Here you have what are the things that you get. You can see. You will learn SQL Server, you will learn C#, you will learn Entity Framework Core, you will learn HTML, JavaScript, TypeScript, JSON, and ASP.NET Core, Web APIs, and you will learn Angular 9, and you will see how to write, implement the complete project that I have shown you, and you'll also see how to host it on cloud. So you'll get access to. So these are the reviews from our previous batch coding bootcamp students, and you can see this is the content that you will get. So altogether it has 60 days. So 2 hours per day. So you will get this complete content for lifetime. You can see each lecture is of around 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours. So this is what we have. SQL Server, C#, Entity Framework Core, Web API Core, Angular 9, and Angular 9 Live project. And you'll also have JavaScript, TypeScript, and HTML and CSS. So you can use this link. I'll share this slide, don't worry. You can use this link and you can get this course for $199 for lifetime. So at last, those who have been following Manzoor the trainer, they know about me. I just thought of talking about me at the end. I want you people to know who is your instructor. I'm Manzoor Ahmed, and I have been teaching since 2000. So I taught C, C++, Java, Unix network programming, principles of programming language, and I have stuck to .NET since 2005. And I have taught more than 1 lakh students over the globe in 183 countries, and I'm one of the best sellers on Udemy, and I have been coding since 2006. I worked as a software developer teacher, and I have worked as a senior software developer. I worked as a team lead. I have architect lot of tech products. So I have worked on almost all the technologies since .NET Framework 2.0, .NET Framework 2.0, 3.5, 4.5, 4.6, .NET Core 1.0, .NET Core 2.0, 2.2, now 3.1. I worked on web forms, ADO.NET, MVC, Entity Framework, Database First, Code First, Web API, anything you name, Signaler, anything you name in web development stack on .NET. I have worked on almost all the things. I have architected a lot of great tech products. So this is all about me. Finally, it's your time to ask questions. What I will do, I'll give you 5 minutes, and I want to put all your questions in the comment box. And after 5 minutes, I'll read out each and every question and I'll answer that. Just I'll give you 5 minutes. So I started getting the questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. I'll take all your questions one after the other. So please type in your questions in the comment box. I'll give 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, I'll take all your questions and then I'll try to answer all the questions.
I was thinking of this project architecture on this IDE environment. For you to be able to master both this front-end user interface, the Bootcamp to the database, can you work all of this on one programming languages, or there will be instances where we will be needing to use more than one or two programming languages?
Okay. I would suggest you to type in comments so that I can take the questions. But anyway, I'll answer this because others are typing the questions. Let them type in. See, programming language is C#. You have to master one programming language, C#. But you have to master a lot of technologies. Like SQL Server, as I told you, that will be your database. You can see this. You have to master all these things. You have to master SQL Server. In SQL Server, you have to master how to create database, how to create primary key, foreign key, how to insert the data, and you need to know how to write queries, stored procedures, triggers, transactions. Then
Okay.
C# programming. You have to master only this one programming language, C#. And you have to master Entity Framework Core. You have to master Web APIs. And you have to master Angular 9 for UI. So you have to master Live Project. You have to master HTML, JavaScript. You don't worry about all these things. If you start learning from one after the other, from day one, if you start from day one and you forget about everything, spend 2 hours per day, then you will be a full stack web developer on 60th day.
Okay, thank you very much.
It cannot happen over a week or two. You have to spend at least 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, I'll do the full course anyway. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is the use of Web API?
Use of Web API. See,
Yes.
use of Web API is to expose the data to the world. See, I want my UI to use the data, is it not? So if I want my UI to use the data, then I should give the data. So I'm going to give data in the form of JSON. If I give data in the form of JSON, my UI can be anything. It can be a web application, it can be a mobile application, it can be a Windows app. It becomes easy for any UI to consume the data. So it is service-oriented architecture, we call it as. So you'll understand those terminologies in the course. Because this is not a technical session, so I don't want to go into the technical things, but we call it as service-oriented architecture. Okay, now I'll take the questions from one after the other. So we'll start with first question first. Which is the best method, code first approach or database first approach? See, all your old projects are based on database first approach, and all your new projects are being developed on code first approach. So code first approach is suggested for any kind of new development. And I have seen a lot of projects which were in database first approach, they are converting it into code first approach. But one point to be noted, okay, I have learned code first approach. Now I want to work on a database first approach. Yes, you can do it. You need to do little tricks, reverse engineering. I have those videos for that, from where you have database, from there you can generate the code. Even though .NET Core does not support directly code first approach, sorry, database first approach, but you can do some reverse engineering. So my suggestion for new development, start with code first approach, because world is moving towards code first approach. You need not to worry about any database. Just start writing your classes, objects, irrespective to database. How to add or create Angular 9 frontend when we open Visual Studio 2017, it shows C#. I have taught how to do all these things with Visual Studio. You need not to install Visual Studio Code. That is the beauty of this course. In this course, I taught how to work with Angular 9 on Visual Studio. It is there in the course. Yes, Visual Studio Code is also another option, but my favorite is Visual Studio 2019. So I taught everything on Visual Studio 2019. What is Bootcamp, Manzoor sir? So you joined, might be little late. Bootcamp is a live interactive sessions with daily task and regular guidance on the task. We have our private WhatsApp group. We add Bootcamp people in the group. We have daily interaction. So that is what my full-fledged concentration on Bootcamp, apart from video tutorials. So it's a live interactive training in short term. What time is for part-time course? For part-time, it's 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. How about joining full-time bootcamp now? No, you cannot join, because we already started the session. We already completed SQL Server. We are about to complete C#. So it will take nearly, July and mid-August to complete. So new bootcamp will be full-time. Will be starting in the month of September. I have some experience on C#. Okay, if you have some experience on C#, you ping me on WhatsApp, Mr. MK Khan. We will see what we can do if you have experience. Amir asked some question. How about joining full-time bootcamp now? See, as I told you, same thing. How old is the previous bootcamp? Previous bootcamp we completed in the month of April. That is, sorry, not April, in the May. So previous bootcamp we have completed in May. In June we started the new batch. So it is not very old, only 2 months old. So you have Angular 9 in that. Is there any lab session? Lab session in the sense, everything is practical. So everything I have coded and explained. So you have source code, you can download that source code, copy and paste it in your Visual Studio, and you can run it. But we are not providing virtual machines to practice. But you have source code, you have videos step by step, you can follow video, copy the code, execute it, check it, you write your own code. We have daily assignments of the bootcamp. You can also work out on that assignment, and we are here to guide you. No worries for that. Okay, Kamal Islam, I have applied for part-time program but have not heard back yet. I'll just check into that because we are busy with our today's session. That might be the reason. Or the best thing is you can just ping me on WhatsApp +91 9676 010101. So this will be the quickest way of getting in touch for part-time bootcamp. Cost for part-time bootcamp, I have just shown you. Its actual cost is $1,500. So you can just pay it in 3 installments, $500 per month. Even though it runs for 5 months, but in 3 months you have to complete the payment. But if you want to go for one-shot payment, we are giving a discount of $300, so you can just pay it as $1,200. So that is the cost as of now for today. So when will you start reaching out to who have already applied? So okay, we'll be giving calls. I think if you have given your contact number, you will get a call, or else you can call us on the number that I have shared. Hands-on training, yes, you have hands-on training. What is the timing for part-time program? And is it online live training? Yes, exactly. The way in which we are interacting now, it is the same way, same tool, and we record and have recorded today's session. Timing, I told you, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST, Indian Standard Time. Please share the recording of this presentation. I am going to do that, don't worry. Any real-time project included? Yes, of course. Whatever I have shown you in the presentation, it's a real-time project. And you will see to implement this step by step. This is real-time project. And we have also hosted this project on Azure for last batch, SSB3 API, SSB3 dot, I do not remember, Microsoft Azure or Azure websites. Yes, Azure websites. It is live on Azure. It is a live product. So this is what we have hosted on Azure, and that is what we have hosted on our shared hosting. So it's a live project. So those who have taken the course, they will be in a position to do this live project, put it in your resume. You can put this link and you can apply for the job. This is a real life project. Is there any time period for applying video tutorials? Yes, it is a private course. You can just ping me on WhatsApp. So I'll be sharing the links. So it is better to enroll as early as possible because it is the limited offer, especially for this COVID and freshers struggling for job. And I have seen all those things, and I have taken decision to share all the knowledge of coding bootcamp. You will see in depth lot of things. If I keep on speaking, it will take 1 hour. You will learn a lot of design patterns, iterator, repository, asynchronous repository design patterns. You will learn dependency injection. It is in depth. It is in very, very depth. So in short, I can say that once you complete that, you can go and talk to a person who has, who has been working on .NET for past 2 years. A fresher, after completing this bootcamp or this video course, they can go and talk to a person who has been working for 2 years. So that sound knowledge you will get. And I'm quite sure all my students, they are leading in all organizations. No, it is not started live in 6th July. It is for the past batch that I started in January. The private course is the same which you will be starting live on. No, this private course is the course that I started in January. Do you cover microservices architecture? No, as of now I'm not covering that. Does the video course cover all from newbies to expert? 100% from newbies to expert to that level. 101% it covers. You will be an expert. I can guarantee. Otherwise, we have money back offer. Don't worry. In 1 month, for me it is not 1 month. For me, whenever you feel that no, it is not up to the mark. Your tutorials. You just ping me. You put me an email. I will not ask any question. I'll return your amount. Don't worry about that. How long will the class last? It will be for 1 hour, for 1 hour session for part-time daily. What do you advise me as I work in Riyadh and cannot attend bootcamp? I advise you to go for video tutorial if you cannot attend bootcamp. Refer to network companies. Is it only in India or other countries as well, as I'm located in Saudi Arabia? See, network companies in the sense what normally I do. I do not get involved into all this kind of you can say consultancies and all those things. I have my network. I'll go to my social network like LinkedIn or Facebook. I'll just announce that my previous batch, I'm done with my previous batch. My resources are ready. Now, the companies who are looking for might be any company, maybe small, mid, from any country. They'll put me an email or they'll ping me on LinkedIn saying that we need resources. So then I just ask them to send their CVs. So I don't take any kind of you can say percentages or any kind of this thing. So my network company can be anything because my network is global. So you can get a chance to work from any country. So it's totally unknown. What is the difference between private course? See, video courses are full edit, cut, and it is customized. And that private course is live. You will see me coughing. You will hear the voice of a person who is selling bananas, and you will see me struggling to fix a bug. You will see me googling something. You will see I'll be asking some questions to the students. You will see what the students they asked in the session. So it is totally live recorded without any edits. So that is the difference between this private course and the videos that we have. What is ASP.NET and core difference? See, ASP.NET is available in two flavors. One is ASP.NET framework, another is ASP.NET core. ASP.NET framework is old and ASP.NET core is new. What is the difference between SOA and microservices? See, again, we are moving towards technical, so I don't want to take technical questions. SOA stands for service oriented architecture, and microservices means again we are dividing those services into such a sub-service that one service will will do one task, so that it become more and more reusable. See, for example, I'm just taking an analogy. If you go to any portal, you will find a category section. Select a category: developer, development, entertainment, art and science. So, or now, the best example could be country. If you go to any portal, if you want to select a country, you will find a drop-down list of all the countries. So now I'll write a service that will expose only countries. That's it. It's microservice. Only my service is doing only one job. To any request, I'm exposing just countries. So it is, in other words, it is a web service or kind of service-oriented architecture divided into such a small piece that it cannot be subdivided. Sir, how to connect API in website? So I have taught in the videos. Why we use Angular 9 for front end instead of HTML jQuery? I have explained in the videos. See, this is technical question, but many people ask this. I'm going to give you a technical answer for that. If you have worked with HTML and jQuery based AJAX calls, what you see on the same page, you see three things. HTML is on the same page. Data that we get from API is on the same page. HTML and the data is on the same page, and calls to API is also on the same page. And you know very well, when you make a call to API and you get the data, and to render the data in HTML, you have done lot of hard coding. You wrote a for loop and HTML tags, string, and all those things. But with Angular, you will find HTML on separate page, API calls on separate file, and data on separate file. Data on separate file as TypeScript, HTML as your views, and API calls as controller. So it is MVC on client side. So it is totally a technical question. Anyway, I tried to answer it as how long will the class last? I told you 1 hour. Is there separate course only on Angular 9? Yes, we have separate course on Angular 9. Part-time, I told you. Fees, about fees, I told you. Thanks for replying, fine. Part-time, number again you need. So this is my number. Telling the cost in dollar, we are in Indian, so we also have cost in Indian also. You can see that. We have the option to make the payments. See, you can pay 35,000 per month in 3 installments. Or if you want to go for one shot payment, it is 90,000 in Indian rupees. Could you please recommend a beginner project to start learning? Beginners project to start learning. I told you this is for beginners only. Beginners to expert. Does it cover C# programming, logical thinking? Yes, it will cover C# programming from scratch. It will start with your integer, float, if else, for loop. We will write our programming logic. We will see all those things. So logical things also we have. And I would suggest, if you want to build logic in C#, I would suggest you to take your engineering first year lab book and all the programs that you did in C, start doing those programs in C#. Job opportunities and salary packages. I told this in the initially. Yes, I'll share the recording. The course price is 90,000 Indian rupees. Yes. And it is less than your degree cost. Don't worry. And I will ensure you that you will learn more than what you have learned in 4 years of your engineering. I can guarantee that. But of course, we also have same thing as recorded. If if due to some financial conditions, if you cannot go for that much, then you can go for the recorded session, and it's $199, so it's nearly 15,000. Same thing, recorded videos 15,000. This is especially for those who cannot bear such a big cost. So we have an alternate. No worries. See, course experienced. Which course you suggest? I suggest you to go for Angular 9 course. See, for personal suggestions for the course, you can ping me on WhatsApp. Do you recommend we should do some software certification like MCSC? See, I do not recommend for doing any kind of certifications for now. You just work for 2 years, then you think of writing certifications, because in India and in US, certificates are not at all important. Maybe in Gulf countries, but now those people are getting smarter. They are not taking care of certificates anymore. Does it cover OOPS concepts? OOPS concept basics, OOP concept advanced, everything it covers. Classes, objects, runtime polymorphism, everything, everywhere. Can you send the link of Angular 9 course and C# course? Yes, ping me on WhatsApp, I'll send you. Lot of questions you people asked. I hope I tried my best to answer your question. But even if you get more doubts, you can ping me on WhatsApp and you can put me an email at info@manzoorthetrainer.com. See, I have been getting a lot of comments that your bootcamp cost is very high and this and that. See, bootcamp is my personal interaction, my personal time investment only on 15 students. So bootcamp is with an intention to make leaders in the market. And alhamdulillah, I'm making leaders. You can just go and read out the reviews. They'll tell. And you know, when you think of investment, once you get your salary, maybe in 6 months or 3 months, you'll get that back. But we never think of that when you go to, you know, some you go to some agents and you pay them lakhs of rupees. They said that they'll give you a job and they'll say that they'll give you backdoor entries and you get stuck. I have seen a lot of students. They pay a lot of amount to the agents. They go to US or they go to Gulf countries and they get stuck over there. They waste money there. But I've seen them. But anyway, I don't want to have more debates on that. But because of this, there might be genuine cases. They do not have. They might be financially weak, and for them, I have, you know, came up with this discounted link and this recorded sessions, same bootcamp recorded session. Everything is same and recorded. So you can get it this for just $199. It's a private course. I'm not going to, you know, make it public on the portal. Only all my registered students and people who attended for them. If you have problem in logic building, I told you need to practice. You take out your C programming and take out each and every program, write it in C#, try to understand. That time your understanding was little less. Now you have grown up, you got mature. Now your understanding got increased. Now if you see those programs, I'm quite sure you will understand those things and logic starts building. See, one last statement I want to say before we end the session for logic building problems. Any program you take, any application you take, whether it is very small with 1 page or very big with 1000 pages like Microsoft Dynamics or SAP, any application, any programming language, any application, logic building requires 2 things. One is if else, another is for loop. That's it. If you understand if else and for loop, and if you are good at it using these things with combination, then you can build logic in any application. I hope those who are experienced, they should support this statement. Any programming language, whether it is machine learning, you will find if else and for loop. That's it for programming. So one last request that I always make, I always ask, is that I want you to leave the reviews about today's session. just I will send you the link, and in this video. So I would suggest you to, the best thing you can do is simply go to Google and just look for Manzoor the Trainer, not .com, Manzoor the Trainer, and you will find Manzoor the Trainer here, and Google reviews you will find. Just I want you to leave a review. Those who have already learned, those who have attended the sessions and all those things, because reviews are very important. First important thing is it encourages me to conduct more sessions, such sessions. Another thing, it will be helpful for new students, because students, they read the reviews, then they come to the portal. So this is the link I have. So I would suggest you to take out 5 or 10 minutes to leave your reviews. This is the short and sweet link, g.page/manzoorthetrainer.com. You can use this, and I would suggest you to leave the review, then leave the session. Anyway, I'm done with the session, and I'm expecting you to leave the reviews as early as possible. And if you have any suggestions, you can write it to me. You can mail me. You can just write it on my FB or on my Facebook or on my WhatsApp. Any suggestions if you have. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Thanks for bearing 1 hour or 1.5 hours.